Welcome, everybody. NorCal Sports Network. The Giants come from behind. They look dead in the water, down 2-0, and they put together.
Looks like they were going to spoil another Webb decent outing.
Yeah, and I lost some money. I took the Padres today.
Dan,
I took the Padres to win the game. I did not think the Giants would be able to hit a knuckleballer. And I was right. They didn't. But their bullpen blew it. Their bullpen blew it. They cannot. This team won today, and Giants fans should be happy about that. But you should have several concerns with this lineup. That's all I got to say about it.
A lot. I mean, concerns.
This team is anemic, and it is boring again to watch this team offensively. Defensively, a little more exciting with Chapman out there and making platinum plays. But this offense is pathetic. They got a break by Hassan Kim throwing the ball over the head, allowing Lee to score in the eighth inning of this two-run inning. And then later in the inning, the inning-ending double play, Taylor made. I mean, all Kim has to do is hold on to the ball, squeeze it, and put the tag on, and the inning's over, and it's a 2-2 ball game. But bright spots, Camilo Duvall. Wow,
he looked great.
He looked electric.
He looked good.
Locked in. I like that. That's what I want to see.
3 strikeouts.
And you know what I noticed? You know what I've noticed about Camilo is his velocity has dipped a little bit, but his movement on the sinker and cutter has increased a little bit. And I really like that because I think earlier in his career he was just throwing because he knew he could blow by everybody. Now he's really pitching. He's not just throwing; he's actually pitching to spots, and he's pitching to other people's hot zones and everything. That's great to see.
I tell you guys.
Go ahead,
Eric.
What I was going to say is, Giants took advantage of mistakes. So you got to do that if you want to win Major League Baseball games, and the other team is making errors all over the place. You got to take advantage of that, and the Giants did. So that was key that they were able to do that, able to tack on that extra run so they could get the win. Because if they strand that runner at third base, man, that's just especially when it's being given to you. So
so much of the game is about count leverage, and Chapman got a 3-1 pitch, and drove it to right center for a sharp, game-winning hit. But in the bottom of the ninth, Jackson Merrill had an 0-1 count, and the next pitch was strike 2, and Bailey just whiffed again. I'm telling you guys, Patrick Bailey he's overrated in my opinion because he doesn't throw guys out a lot. His arm is not very good. The way he throws runners out at second is his pop time, and if the throw's perfect. If it's usually tailing off to one side of the bag or the other because he's throwing it so quickly that he's not, just getting his feet set and throwing a solid strike. He's trying to just throw it as fast as he can, which is great, but he's not accurate a lot of the times. And so what that does is instead of an 0-2 count to Merrill because Bailey whiffed on the ball, it's a 1-1 count. And then I can't remember if it became a 2-1 or whatever, but Merrill got the sharp single to right field and then stole second off Duvall in a way. Duvall's slow to the plate.
Right.
But, Bailey has got to be able to catch strikes. I mean, I've seen this a lot.
I've noticed it too, and I think it's been an uptick this year, especially early on in the season. His value is high defensively right now because he can pull that pitch up and frame it. But I mean, in a couple years, framing isn't going to matter at all because they're going to have the automatic strike zone.
Right.
That's coming. It's coming soon.
Gotcha.
It's already in AAA and it's pretty successful in AAA. I think it's coming.
And it is like you're right, Bora. It is.
And if Bailey, once that comes, and Bailey still hasn't improved on catching the ball and throwing out some runners, his value isn't very high. Because I mean, where his value is right now is
framing
and pop time. That's where his value.
Right.
Here's where Bailey. Here's the deal: if the pitch is coming, and he's trying to frame it, I think why he's so good at framing and why he's missing balls is he's moving the glove almost
Too
before
much.
he catches it.
Yep.
And he's missing these and it's, you know, a lot of balls get by Patrick Bailey. And this is why I was kind of high on Bart, because Bart's got the better arm and he's a pretty good target back there, you know. And once you get away from framing, you no longer are going to.
You don't have that value no more.
You're not going to be on one knee. You're going to go back to traditional catching in the squat where you block balls in the dirt, and you want a big guy like a Johnny Bench, you know, a body. You don't want this. Bailey's not a big guy. So, I mean, and I don't think his bat plays that strong, especially from the right side. You get him switched over to the right side, he's just, you know, I don't like this Giants lineup, okay? I really don't. It's hard to watch. They had 3 hits through 7 innings, I believe it was. And they
started getting their hits at the end.
Got a couple of hits at the end when they got rid of the starter.
3 more ground balls for Lee.
Yeah. I am picking on different players because I don't think this was a bit. This to me was not a win where you took the game. You were given the game today. The Giants are not looking good off the start. They are looking to me like a team that is going to struggle because you know what? What you don't want happening is what is happening last year happened. What happened last year is you had a couple of teams take off. I mean, you needed teams like the Mets and the Cardinals to fall, and they did, and the Giants didn't take advantage of it. This year, you've got 2 teams in the Central that are off to good starts in Pittsburgh and Milwaukee that are expected to be near the bottom of the division, because a lot of people are saying it's the Cubs or Cincinnati, but that division there, everybody is 500 or better, and the Phillies are going to be there at the end. You know, there's 3 spots already pretty much. There's 4 spots, I believe, when it comes to the playoffs that are already wrapped up. Now, anything can happen, but you got the Dodgers and the Braves and the Phillies. That's 3. And you got the winner of the Central. So that's 4. So the Giants are going to be fighting several teams for the 5th or 6th wild card, because I think Philadelphia will take the first wild card. Now injuries can happen, and that it's early. We're only 10 games in, so a lot can change. But I'm just telling you what I see. And if Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Cincinnati and St. Louis all do pretty decently, I think the weakest division might be the National League East this year. Everybody thinks to see the Central, but I don't think the Mets are going to do anything this year. Washington or Miami's showing nothing. So Giants are going to have to get more offense. Their pitching will keep them in. Going to be a lot of games like this until they add offense. You know,
and you know where that added offense comes from?
Luciano and Matos.
Luciano and Matos. I mean,
we've seen enough of Yaz, man. Come on.
I
don't know why.
Enough of Yaz. I think
coming
the fan base is in total agreement. Yaz.
I heard boos. I was coming back from the nursery, and on Yaz's last strikeout, I heard boos. I don't know anyone at the game can confirm that. But
well,
it sounded like there's
those pitches are right on the corner, low and away, right on the zone of the, in the box. Both times he took called strike threes today. And then I think, what did he do the other time? Popped up or something?
No, then Slater pinch hit for him.
Yeah.
Did he only get up twice today?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes.
I thought he had 3 at-bats.
No, he had 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts, and then Estrada had 4 at-bats and 3 strikeouts. Estrada looks horrible right now.
Estrada's bad.
If you can tell Estrada an outside slider's coming, and he still can't hit it. I mean, that's all they were doing. They were throwing him outside sliders, and he couldn't hit it. I've always kind of been down on Estrada. I think he's a great defender. He's a really good defender, and that's valuable to some team. But his offense is just horrific right now. He doesn't have much power. He doesn't hit for average. He doesn't have a great eye. He strikes out a lot. He hits a lot of ground balls. I just don't really see it with Estrada, and I would rather see Luciano get playing time over Estrada at this point right now. I mean, Luciano's tearing it up in AAA.
Listen to their batting averages, guys. Jung-Hoo Lee, 205. Wade's hitting good, 308. Flores, 316. Soler, 243. That's about where I expect him to finish, right in that. That's his kind of baseball card. Conforto's hitting 350. That won't last, but it's good to see. Mm-hmm. Chapman, 195. Got the big hit, but 195. Estrada, 154. Yaz, 063. Bailey, 318. That's going to come way down. Ahmed, 207. That's going to be about right where he ends up. Ahmed's going to be in that 200 to 225 range.
We know Ahmed's not a good hitter, though. That's expected.
And he doesn't have a great arm either. I'm seeing.
No, he doesn't.
He throws a lot of balls high, and he's got a great
good with the
glove.
He has a great glove, yeah.
Great glove, but I mean, you take the wins when you get them, right? I mean, a win's a win, but my concern is the bats. I think they're going to be in a lot of games like this because you're going to have Snell tomorrow night. So Blake Snell historically doesn't have good first halves, and he didn't really have a spring training at all. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out tomorrow night in probably a cold night in San Francisco. Does he my concern for Blake Snell tomorrow night is walks, and I'll tell you why. It's a cold night, hasn't had a spring, and he's going to be amped up. And sometimes when you're amped up, you overthrow, and you tend to overthrow glove side or arm side, arm side. So the lefty, Harrison, he throws a lot of balls that tail off high and away. Mm-hmm. You could get a lot of pitches, and if you can't get Snell through at least 5 tomorrow, hopefully he's on and the adrenaline's enough to where he's composed and throws strikes. But of course, Robert expects Snell to pitch a gem tomorrow. You expect Tyro Estrada to go 4 for 4 and hit 3 homers.
Who pitched a gem today, though? Logan Webb was great.
I would say he was good.
He wasn't great. He was pretty good. Yeah. I think he needed this, though, because, he hasn't had a great outing.
The damage.
He did not get the win, though, did he?
No,
he didn't.
Did Walker get the win? Who got the win?
Yeah, I think Walker got
the win. Yeah, Walker's looks good.
Walker had a good outing.
Walker, I gave Logan Webb on a 5-star basis today. I gave him a 4. And the reason is he gave up 10 hits, but he was able to get out of innings with the ground balls. He didn't walk anybody, which was great.
Right.
I rated how I rated everybody because the Athletic will send you right after a deal where you rate the players. I rated Lee a 2. I thought he misjudged that fly ball in the first inning. He didn't realize he needed to jump instead of keep running. He ran through the wall instead of jumping. Soler, I gave a 4-star too. He had 2 hits, 2 for 4. Conforto, a 1-star. Chapman gave him a 3-star. Well, I could probably bump him up to a 4 because he did get the key hit and he made some really good plays in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So if he didn't get the hit in the 8th there, probably would have given him like a 2-star because he would have been 0 for 4.
Right.
Estrada, a 1-star. Yaz, is there a negative star on the board? Yaz, just poor Yaz. Guy's got a new son, and he's just that's kind of sucks. You feel bad for the guy.
I mean, we want Yaz to prove us wrong, but we just he's what, 34?
Yeah, poor guy is he's got a new son that's just a little over a week old, and you're rejoicing with that, and but you got to go home, and he's got to be feeling the pressure right now, seeing that guys like Brandon Belt are out of the game. Yaz has got to be looking at this could be his last year in the big leagues if he doesn't produce this year. Seriously.
That's a good point, but I think his defense will always play. I think there's always going to be a spot as like a 5th outfielder for him, just because his defense is really good. If I were the Giants, I would make up a hamstring injury, send him on the 15-day IL, let him go home with the family, relax a little bit, and get Matos up here. Let him have some run for a week or 2. See what he can do, and then you can assess from there.
Yeah.
I just think Yaz, he's stressing, he's striking out all the time. He just needs a break. He needs a break. He needs to spend some time with his kids. Just relax a little bit and let Matos get some.
Take a leave of absence.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't he already have one?
Yeah, 3 days. He didn't get any real. I mean, it's rough because Yaz did not have a good spring. He did not have a good year in 22 or 23. He tailed off badly in the second half of 21. So we're seeing pretty much a decline. He will have some occasional hot streaks where he'll hit the long ball and he'll have his OPS climb up near 800, which is very respectable. But you can't have Yaz is, I said this, somebody said Yaz told me the other day on Twitter, Yaz is good. Give him a chance. He'll pull, come around. I said Yaz is not a quality. He's not a starter. And he said, some guy came back, well, other guys have worse teams, worse players that are starting, like Connor Joe and this and that. My response was, Yaz is not a starting outfielder on a good team.
Yeah.
On a good team, he makes the team as the 5th outfielder, like Boris says, and he's a defensive replacement and maybe hit for him if you got the catcher coming up or something, and and you got a good matchup, a right-handed pitcher, like the Padres today, they pinch hit Capasano to end the game for their measly other guy that couldn't get a bunt down on 3 tries. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of guy where Yaz comes in to pinch hit for.
You know what Farhan should do? He should use his analytics and have Yaz be your primary defender, and then use a DH for Yaz as Matos and hit Matos. Something like, didn't they do that with Ohtani or something? Isn't that how Ohtani was?
Oh, that was when they let the pitcher hit.
No, because in the American League there was always a DH. So what they would do is they would have Ohtani hit when he pitched. They would DH for somebody else, I think, or they wouldn't have a DH, something like that. If you could have Yaz play the field and then DH for him hitting. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, wait a minute. No, you'd have to have your pitcher hit then. You can only have 9 guys bat.
Well, yeah, but could you DH Matos for Yaz?
How? You mean DH Matos.
Yeah, have Matos hit and have Yaz just play the field.
But
why?
I'm
Whoa,
trying. I'm
whoa.
trying.
I don't think it's possible. It's not possible though, unless the pitcher hits.
Yeah,
You got to have
Yeah,
nine.
I guess so. Yeah,
You got to have. You got to have.
Ohtani,
You got to have
yeah.
nine. You got to have 9 guys bat.
I'm trying to find something that, where Yaz doesn't have to hit.
I give you E for effort there. Boy.
Little League. Hey, Mikey. You know what? Go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Mikey, go to the bathroom. We're gonna let Luis come up for you. We'll put you back out there. You won't lose your turn.
Oh man.
Oh. Yeah, the Giants, another sellout this weekend. Interesting.
3 in a row.
3 in a row. I think it's because it's a weekend, and it's a little bit of excitement with opening day on a Friday. And then you get some of the new signings. I think there was a little bit of excitement for, and tomorrow, you hope tomorrow gets 30,000 with Snell, but Monday night, it won't sell out. I can guarantee you that. But then you go back to, I guess, Harrison. So 3, and then Hicks moves to the 4 and Wynn to the 5. It's not a bad rotation. I mean, Wynn could be better than Wynn could be better than Cobb.
He could be, yeah.
I mean, we don't know what Cobb's going to do with his hip.
Right.
There was I think I saw something about Cobb's elbow, how that was giving him some soreness or anything. Do you put anything into that, or?
I think he compensated with his hip.
I think so. That happens.
I think he was throwing and, maybe landing just a little bit different from that hip, just trying to maybe rush getting back sooner. Because the original thing was he wasn't coming back till June, and he was going to go on the 60-day IL. And, second playing that, maybe that might have been the wiser thing, just to say, you know what, Alex, just take your time, get yourself well. We'll bring you back 1st of June. Don't rush it. Try and get back. And, they were talking about him maybe making it in April, like mid-April. And I think he was pushing because you got to realize he probably didn't throw much at all in the offseason like a lot of guys do because of his hip.
He was rehabbing.
Yeah, he couldn't. So he ramped it up a little quicker than normal, and you get a little bit of elbow discomfort.
Yep, that happens.
So
let me ask you guys this. What are your let's say Cobb comes back and he's healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are your expectations for him this season? What do you think? How many innings do you think he's going to throw? What's his ERA going to be? Because I mean, I don't think it's hard. I don't think the expectation should be he's going to come back and have a year.
He's not going to come back and deal like he did last year. I don't think
exactly. I mean, he was an all-star last year.
Yeah, he was. But then you remember after that no bid, he wasn't the same after that. He was pretty bad after that.
That's right.
I don't know, man. I'm not really putting a whole lot. I know a lot of people seem to put a lot of, wait till Cobb and Ray come back. But I'm not. I mean, you got Ray coming back from Tommy John. Sure, he might have the velocity, but I don't know if he's going to have the command. Usually when people are coming off Tommy John, it takes a while for them to get the command back. Same thing with Cobb. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how that's gonna be kind of a mystery. I don't even know.
I think though, even if Cobb comes back and he's not the same, the rotation is still decent. I mean,
you still got young guys that
Webb and Snell are good.
Hicks is a surprise right now.
Hicks is a surprise. But we have to see how it plays towards the end of the season and middle of the end of the season.
Looks like
I think he's going to get a little better. And Wynn, I was pleased with Wynn yesterday.
I like Keaton Wynn as a starter. I really do. I think he's got good stuff. That splitter plays. It's Gosman-like, and he has the ability to go give you 6 innings. He really got screwed yesterday because the ball lost in the sun by Lee really had Lee caught that. There is no runs given up in that.
Correct.
There is no grand slam, even though they were all earned, unfortunately, because if it was an error, they're unearned. But anyway, looking at this out-of-town scoreboard today, the Cubs are going to take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. Looks like. You never know with the Dodgers lineup, though. They could strike at any moment.
You know who started that game?
Shota.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Red Sox blowing away the Angels 12-1. Astros and Rangers, the pitcher for the Astros. In fact, that game starts in 5 minutes. I've got him in my starting lineup. He's going for a second no. I might have to yank him. Who's that guy's name? His name?
Oh, yeah. God, who was it?
Blanco.
That's it, Blanco.
Ronel Blanco. Ronel. Okay. Diamondbacks get swept by the Braves. Do we hear a Trevor Bauer sighting or calling soon coming to Atlanta? I would. I wouldn't be messing around because Cleveland had Bauer one time. They lost Shane Bieber. So
yeah, true.
I think there's going to be a place for Bauer. Somebody's going to get desperate enough that and the Braves are the perfect team, in my opinion, because if in all appearances are that Strider's gone for the year, hasn't been determined yet, but most likely, why would you're a World Series not only contender, you're the favorite. Why would you not go out and get a guy that can be a solid starter for you? I don't know. Pirates beat the Orioles 2 of 3. Look at that. Was it 2 or 3? I think it was 2 or 3, right?
I think it was 2 or 3. Pirates are looking
good.
Pirates looking good.
Oh, the Nationals won. Okay. Nationals beat the Phillies. They come into now they are going to fly cross country to play a game tomorrow night.
Can we look at the box score? I want to see who the Nationals have.
Well, I know that what's his name has been out.
Abrams?
Yeah, CJ Abrams. They've got Young Winker, Lane Thomas off to a slow start, Joey Gallo off to a slow start.
Not a great lineup.
They got a lot of nobodies.
They do.
Now their catcher Ruiz was not in the lineup today, it looks like. No, so Ruiz and CJ Abrams is out. Now he may be coming back here shortly. But let's take a look at
who's going to be pitching
tomorrow night
for the Nationals.
Let's take a look right here. Schedule Monday. Is that pulling up still?
Yep.
All right. It's Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams. Tickets as low as $7. That tells you it's not near a sellout. $7.
Tuesday it's Josiah Gray. Wednesday it's Patrick.
Ooh, that's a good matchup of youngsters. Gray versus Harrison Tuesday night, and Wednesday is Corbin. A day game. Patrick Corbin versus Jordan Hicks. That means most likely you see Bailey the next 2 nights, and then the Murphy against the lefty on Wednesday.
Because Bailey got a day off yesterday, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So he probably can go back-to-back nights. What was this matchup? Gray's a righty, and Trevor Williams is a righty, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
So getting back to the scores, though.
Don't know yet, Adam. Don't know yet.
Around the league. This game's starting. It already started 4:00. I left him in there. Maybe a bad mistake for my soon to be sold to the highest bidder fantasy team out there. I got 2 offers out there, guys. I got a fantasy team that is ready to be sold. You can either buy it for $50 because it's an investment for me, and I bought into a franchise, or you can just take it over, and if you win, you get to split the money with me.
Look at that. So you're going to make them do all the work, and you're going to take their money.
Unless they want to pay the fee, they can have it all.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. So $50 and it's yours, or split the winnings. Got it.
Yeah. So it's free, split the winnings, or it's $50 and then you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Because I got too much going. I'll tell you why I'm getting out for me personally. I have looking at, to be really good in fantasy baseball, you got to look at the matchups and play certain guys. Hold on one sec, guys. My dog's barking and maybe someone's at the door. I'll be right back.
All righty. But to answer, Adam, your question, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Hicks. Right now, he's doing well. We'll see what happens when he gets past 100 innings. Then we'll see where he's at, and then we'll go from there, right? See how it works out. But right now, yeah, I like what he's doing in the rotation.
Eric, Logan Webb, he went 7, but he only had 85 pitches.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was encouraging for me, and it was also encouraging for me to see Bob Melvin be able to take him out, which shows you he isn't just going to rely on Logan Webb to go as long as he can. He's not going to go 100 pitches every time. He's gonna rely on the bullpen a little bit, and that's what you have to have some trust in the bullpen. I think Ryan Walker is going to slide into that setup role because he looks really good, and he has finesse where he can pitch to righties and lefties. I don't think his splits versus a particular batter, righty or lefty, are pretty strong in either direction. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, getting back to fantasy, the reason I'm leaving, it's just too much for me because I'm very competitive, and when I play to win, and I can't stop myself from studying, and I don't want to do it because I'm up 1:30, 2 in the morning trying to figure out some things. Then I'm sleeping in this morning, and I get up to go to the bathroom early in the morning, and I look at my phone, and I can't stop looking at my lineup and going, oh, shoot. And I couldn't go back to sleep, and so I got this splitting headache all day. And, Dan's a quitter. No, Dan is just going to have a life. Dan's got to work and continue to bring in the dough. And I can't do it if I'm wiped out, tired. I'm 62. I've been at this thing working my tail off, and I'm done spending hours looking up people's stats and trying to figure so anyway.
D-Shot says, come on, man, everyone has shit to do.
Well, whatever.
Did you guys
Spencer says excuses. Oh, Dan. You should.
Whatever. I don't expect you guys to understand because most of you guys don't have a life. So
let's not do that.
Did you guys see Luciano's hit today? His double? And who it was off of? It was off of Jordan Montgomery.
Oh, no kidding.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
100-mile-an-hour double off of Jordan Montgomery.
Is that game already done?
I'm pretty sure it's final.
How did he end up? Because Luciano smashes the ball. That's all I can say. He hits it hard.
Last time I checked, he was 1 for 3. With the
Let me see. I can pull it up right here.
Yeah, I'm bringing up this box right now.
I mean, Luciano brings that excitement, and he also brings that. That power and that.
1 for 5.
1 for 5 of it. How many?
Santos, I don't know, man. He's not hitting in AAA right now, but it's early. Whatever.
How many strikeouts did Luciano have?
Matos went 0 for 5, but no strikeouts, no walks.
Luciano 1 for 5, 1 strikeout. Well, your average changes so fast right now.
Oh yeah.
Ramos 278. Yeah. I mean, I honestly think the lineup for the AAA Sacramento has got more potential than the Giants lineup right now. I mean, if you look at their lineup as a whole, if we go back to, let me look at, because today they got some guys in there that are, let me see, how can I find the dates here? They had a lineup the other day. I saw it. It looked pretty good. Today they got, what's that guy named Reitz? I don't know what he does. But if you just look at their lineup overall, it's got, I don't know if it's got more, I shouldn't say more pop, but it's got more excitement, guys I'd rather see hit. I mean, I'd rather
for sure.
I'd rather see Ramos, Matos, Luciano, Schmidt come up, and here's another thing. Tyler Fitzgerald he helped him today, but
he needs to be playing every day somewhere.
He needs to be in AAA. You should have kept Otto Lopez as a guy that becomes your speedster, backup shortstop, outfielder, because Lopez is a guy that has he doesn't have the potential long term, I don't think, that Fitzgerald has. I think Fitzgerald has a higher ceiling than Lopez. So let Fitzgerald continue to develop. He's not going to get any playing time in this lineup. And thing is, he's probably more productive offensively, going to be more productive than Ahmed, but he's not the defensive shortstop that Ahmed is. So
how many guys on this team are defensive specialists and below average on offense? I'd say Ahmed, Estrada, Yaz, even
Chapman.
I think Lee's might be in that category. The more I'm watching Lee, the more I'm seeing a guy that's going to he's going to hit a lot of ground balls about 60% of the time. And once they figure a pattern to him, if there is a pattern, like he hit the ball pretty hard today for a base hit, kind of between second base bag and the second baseman. If they start to see that's where the majority of he hits the balls, they're going to cheat that guy over. But if he's able to spray the ball around, then he'll do a lot better batting average wise, because, and the other thing Lee needs to learn to do, in my opinion, he needs to learn to bunt, because they're playing him way off the bag over in the hole at short, the third baseman. He's playing, middle, not super deep, but not in. You got the whole third base line is open for a bunt. A guy like that with the solid bat control that he has should be able to just bunt that ball, and you know what? It'll open up the infield a little bit more.
Bunt and steal. I don't think
he hasn't even attempted a steal. He hasn't even attempted
any. I don't think the Giants as a team have one steal this season. I don't think they have one steal.
That's boring.
I mean, Lee led off with a base hit. Why not go for second? Why not? Mm-hmm. He's fast.
In the first inning, right? He led off. Yeah. Exactly. Led off I was on the phone with Los at the time. It was like, take off. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
How about take a walk as well? How about take a walk as well?
That that errant throw that Kim had. I mean, he had a chance to beat that out if it was a decent throw. He was hustling down the line. He is fast. And I guess he just needs to work on his reads. But he should be a 20 stolen base guy at the least. In his future, at least. He's that fast. Estrada should have a steal. I mean, he hasn't been getting on base.
Is Senior in here today, or is he's probably?
I haven't seen him in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably got baseball going with his son.
Yeah, probably.
They don't have speedsters on this team that can steal bases.
No, they're boring to watch already. I've watched 10 games, and
who's the most exciting at bat? It's Soler. Right?
Soler. It's Soler.
Soler.
It's Soler. It's and it's because he hits the ball hard when he hits it.
I'd argue JD Davis and Matt Chapman offensively are pretty much the same guy. JD Davis might even be a little better.
Yeah, put them up right now. See where they're at through 9-10 games. Can you do that?
Yeah, Mark? I can.
I know JD Davis is pretty good right now, offensively.
I think Davis hits the ball harder. Well, Chapman does hit the ball pretty hard when he hits it.
They're pretty similar players.
They're very similar offensively, very similar. But they are boring to watch, really boring. And I'm telling you, I don't think they're going to be a 500 team. And I said they would be, but I'm with Los. If they go with this lineup, what they're putting out there, and they leave this through June, they're going to be 7-8 games under 500 at the end of June.
Oh,
yeah. They're going to be at the 90. Let's see. By the end of June, you've played close to 90, right? You played generally about 90 at the All-Star break.
Yeah, right.
No, they actually play about.
No, because the All-Star break is longer. It's in the middle of July, right?
Yeah, it's right around 90 at the All-Star break, I think. Okay, so this is through not counting today's games, right?
Yeah, not counting. I don't think StatHead.
No,
I don't have it today. Yeah.
Yeah, not counting. So 9 hits for Davis, 310 to 189 on base or percentage much higher, slugging much higher, OPS much higher, OPS plus. Yeah. I mean, and I think you're going to see this from Chapman for most of the year. You'll see occasional hot streaks where he's getting like any player, but I don't think Matt Chapman is a guy that has ever hit well for average, except for 1 year in Oakland. I think
What's he batting in the lineup right now?
Fifth?
He should be more of a sixth hitter.
Who, Chapman?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what is the top three? Is it
Lee, Wade, Soler? Soler.
Yeah, Soler's third, and then Conforto's fourth, and Chapman's fifth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are you guys' thoughts on Lamont Wade this season?
Wade's he doesn't bother me that much.
I would like to see Flores get some more run at first because he had a great play yesterday.
I'll tell you what they should do tomorrow. If you're not ready to bring up Matos, you want to know what they should do? They should against a right-handed put Wade at first, put Soler in right field, and put Flores in the bat. Get his bat line. He hit a nice sharp hit off of the right-handed hitter today. Flores can hit right or left. You don't need to. He's not.
I would argue that he should be the starting first baseman because he had a great year last year. He was their best hitter last year.
Yeah, but I think Wade's better defensively, don't you? Maybe a little quicker.
Maybe, but does it really matter? I mean, is that really going to matter? I don't think you need great defense at first base, right? And they need hitters, though. I mean, Wade right now is hitting singles. He isn't hitting for power, and he's not hitting extra base hits. Is he walking?
I haven't seen a lot here.
Because that's his value. His value was walking and getting on base. But wait, Flores is a professional hitter. He's been in the league, 12 years?
He's been in there for a while.
He's been in the league for a while. He's a professional hitter. He knows.
Yeah,
how
he's
to
taking
hit.
walks. He's got an on base of over 400.
Okay, I mean, I think Wade. There's a spot for Wade in this lineup and on this team. Put Wade in right field. Let Wade be your everyday right field over Yaz. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem.
Here's your up-to-dated stats right here through 10 games. Chapman, 2 home runs. Conforto's got 3. On base percentage, Chapman, that's terrible. Anything under 300 is awful.
Look at Estrada's and Chapman's strikeout to walk ratio.
Wow. Look at that. Base on balls for Estrada is none. That means he's not even taken.
I think Estrada's at bats are really concerning because I mean you're not even seeing flashes.
I mean those sliders are going into the left-handed
batter's box.
pitching ball. Yeah.
I mean he knows it's coming and he still can't hit it.
It's crazy.
Ahmed, look at Yastrzemski, 16 at bats, 9 Ks. 16 at bat. He's striking out. His strikeout rate is like 63%. Or what? No, that's his batting average. I'm sorry.
That's like what? 50?
But it's pretty close. 9 out of 16 is pretty close to 60%, isn't it?
It is. When you're watching Yaz and Estrada, they just looked overmatched. They look like AAA hitters right now. They look like I'll tell you who Estrada looks like. He looks like Casey Schmidt from last year. Those low and away sliders.
Oh yeah.
I mean that Casey Schmidt couldn't hit them. Estrada's not hitting them. I mean, it's just. I think it's concerning.
No, you can't send Yaz to Sacramento. He's out of options.
Put him on the IL.
But you can put him on the bench.
You can put him on the bench. I mean, what purpose does he serve on the bench, though?
Look at this. Chapman is leading the team in at bats, 41. Here's your splits. He's wow. Look at that. Based on balls.
Yeah, they should DFA Yaz, but that's never going to happen because he's.
I'm pretty sure he's out of options, Michael. I'm almost positive.
Oh yeah, he's out of options for sure. Yeah.
Isn't that the whole reason why the Orioles let him go because they didn't have any options?
No, because he came to the minors in the Giant in 19. They sent him back down.
Did they? Okay.
And he was just about done, and all of a sudden he started smoking the ball, and I think he just relaxed.
He had a couple of good years, yeah, but
his past 3 years have been horrible. I mean, not horrible, but they haven't been good.
They've been bad.
They've been pretty bad.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? I mean, I'm pretty critical of their lineup, and I don't see.
There's definitely holes in a lineup. I mean, we can't sit there. I mean, Yaz, Ahmed, right now Estrada, those are all pretty.
I mean,
instant outs right there. I mean, that's
on one hand, I like the fact that Melvin is continuing to stick. It's early, and he's throwing out the same guys and letting him, try and get into a groove. But on the other hand, this isn't like a new guy in Yaz that hasn't been going down for the last.
And it's not like he's hitting the ball hard and it's just he's getting unlucky. He's not hitting the ball at all.
Right. That good point there because he's striking out. It's not like like you said, he's not like he's getting good contact and he's finding gloves. That's different than striking out constantly.
Yeah. I mean, he just looks overmatched. That's all it looks like. He's 34. He's getting older. I think it's not just I think this is just his reality. He's just not that good of a player right now. He's old. He's injury prone, as we've seen for the last couple of years.
I think what you're finding, guys, or what we're gonna find out is that these guys, how long do they give them? The Ahmeds and the Yazes out there, and even Estrada, as you say. I mean, he's playing really good defense, but you can't have 3 automatic outs in your lineup.
No, you can't.
I mean, they're automatic outs right now.
I mean, it's just you see those guys up, you count it out.
We saw Ahmed get a couple of he's had 3 big hits where he's driven in runs, and every pitch he drove in a run, the ball was letter high or above, and he just went up and smoked it. So that's his spot. Just stay away from that spot. Or if you're gonna pitch him up there, go up high enough to make him chase really high out of the zone, because he seems to like the high fastball. But he's not. I think it gets old watching this lineup.
For me, I'm fine with Ahmed in the lineup in the 9-hole because I think his defense at shortstop is really good. I mean, he's a Gold Glove defender. His arm isn't great, but his glove is really good. And I just think you need that stability at shortstop. Shortstop's arguably the most important position on the defense. I would rather have. I'm fine with Ahmed being in the lineup and struggling.
And that's fine as long as everyone else is hitting, though.
Exactly. But as long as he plays consistent, good defense at shortstop, I'm fine with it. Yaz is just. I mean, Yaz. How long has Yaz been on this team? What is this, like 5 years?
2019.
Came up in 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
6th year.
24, 6th year.
This is his 6th year on the team.
And Slater's 8 years, I believe. Didn't he come up in 17?
Slater is the longest
tenured Giant.
Your 26th man.
Never been a consistent starter.
And he's your 26th man, basically.
That makes no sense to me at all. There's no reason why Slater should be on this team. It's been 10 games and it's still early, but you're not seeing anything from Yaz. I mean, anything offensively. You're not seeing any flashes.
Look, and the argument is you know what to expect from him, right? There's expectations, right? Of Yaz, and they're not exactly that high for expectations. No. So why not? Can Matos do any worse than what Yaz is doing?
How about in this situation? What would you guys rather see? What's better? A guy like Austin Slater, who's 33-ish, 8 years on the club, doesn't do anything but pinch hit, has a little bit of pop occasionally, or a guy who's not going to develop any more in the minors in Elliot Ramos. He's pretty much, you're not going to get all of a sudden he's just going to keep developing. He needs to be in the major leagues or DFA him because he's taken up a 40-man spot. And I think Ramos gives you much more upside than Slater.
Sure.
Slater isn't playing anyway, so there's not too much downside anyway.
Right. I mean, Ramos can steal bases.
I think Ramos is a 5-tool player, right? He has
the tools. He has the speed. He has the pop. He has the arm. He has, but he hasn't been really given shot. He's had 79 lifetime at bats.
And you know what?
That's the equivalent of 3 weeks playing.
If let's say Ramos comes up and he just completely struggles, we might be completely wrong in this, but we'll never know if he doesn't get a shot.
Yes, exactly.
Slater's gotten his shot. We know who Slater is. We know who Yaz is. We don't know who Matos is, and we don't know who Ramos is.
My thing is Ramos is, he's not going to play every day. It doesn't appear. I'd rather have, I think Matos has probably the better upside. But is Ramos, you're keeping Slater and you're paying him $4 million? I mean, you're paying 3 guys that combined $16 million that you could basically do. Look, this is where I'm getting at. Let me circle this around and make a point. Giants need bats, right? What happens if you had no Tom Murphy but Joey Bart? I mean, this is gone. It's over with, but I'm just saying, and it's not going to happen. But this is the difference of building a team. No Tom Murphy, that's $4 million. No Austin Slater, that's $4 million. That's $8 million. And no Yaz, that's $8 million. That's $16 million. You could replace those with Matos, Ramos, and Bart, all from your system. And then that $16 million, you could have went out and signed Rhys Hoskins to play first base. And you could have then had Wade as a backup first baseman, right fielder, fourth guy, keep off the bench. You could have maybe used, maybe you end up using Flores a little bit at second base occasionally, or you traded Flores for a useful middle inning reliever. There's a lot of things that you can do. I guess what I'm saying is, I think you're misusing the roster and the money allocated for Bart. I mean, for Murphy, Slater, and Yaz, guys that don't create a huge war upside. That, I mean, really, is Bart and Murphy going to be a huge difference?
Let's put it this way: is Slater, Yaz, and Murphy? That's what, 18 million? You said
16 million.
16 million.
That could have been Montgomery, maybe even two.
Okay, you have Slater, Yaz, and Murphy, and then you have Matos, Bart, and Ramos. Maybe, let's say those.
Yeah,
those would be,
or Meckler. I mean,
or Meckler. Someone. Is the drop off really that big?
That's my point.
Is the drop off worth 16 million? No, it's not. It's. I mean, I'd argue that there isn't even a drop off at all. I mean,
I don't think there is. I think there's more. There's definitely a higher ceiling.
There's a higher ceiling, exactly.
And I mean, Bart's gone. Okay, big deal. Forget it. How about Sable? I mean, Sable is a backup kid. Murphy isn't the greatest catcher. So
Sable had a decent year last year. It's not like he was complete garbage.
No, and he's got some pop. He strikes out a lot, but he needs more time, probably. I mean, he got a full year in the big leagues, so he's, there's not a huge difference, guys, between AAA and the big leagues. There is for the stars. The stars that are the stars in the big leagues are, pretty much head and shoulders above the guys that are at the back end of your roster. But the guys at the back end of your roster versus the guys in AAA that are right there, there may be no difference at all. I mean, we see guys come up from AAA all the time and have success for short periods of time. So, I don't know. That's just. I don't get I didn't get it, and we said it when they did the tendering of contracts. That we said, why are you tendering Yaz and Slater again? Right. We said it last year in November or December, whatever month it was done. It was like, really?
He did it really early in the offseason.
Yeah, and it was and you're going to take JD Davis to arbitration, and you're going to keep Yaz? Seriously?
Over what, like 400,000 it was?
Yeah, I mean, you got rid. Wouldn't you like to have a JD Davis off the bench or playing first base a little bit occasionally and a pinch hitter? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got
who'd you give JD Davis away for?
You're senior, Dan.
Who'd you get in return?
There he is.
What was the player that you got in return for JD Davis?
Nothing. You got nobody.
Was JD Davis really gonna hurt your team? Or you could have used JD Davis. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Yaz is making $8 million. There is no reason for Yaz to make $8 million.
Yeah, exactly. You could have traded.
I think that's the big one. I mean, that is a major league contract. $8 million.
Yeah.
That's a major league contract, and there is no reason for Yaz to be this bad making $8 million.
Hey, deloading. Chapman has a tough time hitting that fastball too. Just saying.
Yeah, JD Davis had a net positive last year. He wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible.
He did good. Great first half. Second half, though, it started wearing on.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm fine with Slater being on this team. as long as Matos is the starter. Because Slater's a fine fifth outfielder. I really do. He's a fine fifth outfielder. $4 million isn't too much. But when you have Yaz playing every day and making $8 million, and you're having Slater be the other platoon, so Slater's going to be playing a decent amount, it just doesn't make any sense. If you had Matos in there playing every single day, and you had Slater playing 1 or 2 times a week to give Matos a rest day, I'd be fine with that. I really would, because Matos would be the starter. He would be the everyday starter. There's no problem with that. Now you have Yaz playing every day, and he's struggling a little bit. So you're going to start to see Slater get in the lineup a little more. And we know who Slater is. He's been on this team for 8 years. He hasn't been a starter once. He's a bench bat. There's no reason to have Slater and Yaz splitting time at a starting role. I really don't think so.
I'm picturing Farhan walking up in a uniform to home plate. Oh my goodness, that would be.
I don't think Farhan's making out the lineup right now.
No, it's Melvin.
It's Melvin. It's 100% Melvin. Last year, okay, I get it.
Oh man,
let's say Yaz and Estrada's slump continues. How long is it until...
I say this month of April. After that, you got to go.
I say it's sooner. I could really see if Yaz struggles this upcoming week, and he is just looking completely overmatched and he's striking out. I could see them.
I think they're going to give them. I think they give him maybe to the end of the month. And then after that,
I think it's obvious that Farhan is the one petitioning for Yaz, right? Farhan brought him in. Farhan, it's Yaz.
Put a poll together, Eric, real quick. When Yaz is at the plate, do you wish for him to have success or no success?
Oh, that's kind of man. That's a rough.
I want to know. I'm rooting against him in a way. Because I don't want to. I want to see Matos.
I mean, his own actions will get him in trouble already. I mean, I'm not going to wish.
I'm wishing that he gets a hit because I want him as an individual to have success. But at the same time, you want someone else to be there.
The longer he gets a hit here and there, the longer they drag out. He might turn it around.
I see that with Kapler. I don't see Melvin doing that. I don't. I think they're giving him a leash. But do you want me to put that out there? I put it out there. You want to see him succeed or you want to see fail? You want me to put it out there?
Well, I don't think he's going to have real success. Would you rather have Yaz have mediocre, occasional success, or downright failure?
Or how long do you think Yaz's leash is going to be? Like less than a month or more than a month or something like that?
Just downright failure or occasional success.
I go, what does Yaz do? And then I'll put.
Do you want him to have occasional success, which is like his baseball card, 220? Because if he has occasional success, they're going to leave him in there. Okay? Or do you want him just to flop?
Success. Occasional success or a flop.
Let's say Yaz turns it around within the next few weeks, right? How long is it going to be until he gets a hamstring injury? Because it's going to happen.
Giovanni, do you understand English language at all? Giovanni, I'm calling you out. He says, still can't believe Dan compared Ohtani to Bonds. I never compared him. I said Bonds is the greatest of all time. If you read my tweet, I said appreciate greatness. He's the greatest right now in the game. And somehow you're correlating that to Bonds. Come on.
Remix, what happens if Matos looks like Yaz? Well, I mean, we have to find out because right now we're not even finding out. If it comes to that, then you have
worse than Yaz.
Then you have a problem in right field. I mean, right now you cannot hit worse than Yaz. He's batting .063. That's one hit in 15 at bats. You can't do worse than that. And if Matos somehow really struggles, then you have a problem in right field. Maybe Matos isn't that guy, but you have to find out. And Matos is still young. He's 22. He's going to have a future in this league. It's just, when is he going to break through? And it could be right now. It could be in a couple years. But you have to find out. And right now with Yaz playing, Yaz doesn't have a future on this team. There is no future for Yaz on this team. He is not going to be on this team next year. I'd argue that he's not going to be in the league in 3 years.
I don't think.
He's injury prone. He's 34. He's not 30. He's 34. He's been on the Giants for 6 years.
I'll tell you, the game's going younger. He may not be in the league next year, Bora. The game is going younger, and they don't want to pay guys. Well, yeah. I mean, Brandon Belt. Whose bat would you rather have, Yaz or Belt?
Belt
doesn't have a job.
Belt also doesn't give you anything defensively. He's
true,
a
DH. But you can find guys to go out and play defense that can do what Yaz is doing at the plate.
That's true.
I mean, you could stick anybody out there that's really good in defense that can hit .063.
That's true. I mean, I think Yaz is going to pick it up. He's not an .063 hitter.
This is an interesting poll, though, Eric, because the three choices are success.
Yep. Occasional success. And a flop.
And flop is winning, which is shocking to me because success, who wouldn't want a player to actually have real success?
That is telling. There's only 28 votes.
Success to me is like the guy's hitting 275 and he's going to hit 25 homers.
You know what that tells me? That tells me the majority of people don't think this is a World Series roster. Because if Yaz has success and the Giants don't do anything, what's the point? There's no point because he's not really helping the team. They're not gonna win the World Series. If Matos is in here and he struggles a little bit, but he grows into a great player, like he has the tools, he can carry you to a World Series. I mean, he has the potential to be a great player. Yaz doesn't have that. So if Yaz has a decent to above average year, that doesn't do anything for the team. It really doesn't. Matos has the capability to become an all-star caliber player, if not higher. That can really help you turn a team around and help you make a run in the playoffs.
Big
bamboo.
Yeah, I saw that.
Close the poll because...
Damn, dude. That's tough.
Everybody loves Yaz, right?
Yeah, he does. He has to go, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's
like I said, I don't want to see him flop, but I also
I wish success for Yaz. I don't want him to be out of the league. I want him to have success in this league.
On a personal level, you don't want anybody to fail.
Exactly. But you also have to take into account the team, and what's best for the team right now is Matos playing over Yaz.
I mean, the fact that Yaz has
potential,
made himself 20 plus million in his career is pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, it should be enough for him, if he plays his cards right, to enjoy a pretty comfortable life through retirement.
And how does he play his
for
cards
a couple
right
of generations afterwards too?
He has to just give me a call, Yaz.
Yep. There you go.
Give me a call, Mike. I'll take good care. I won't rip you. I wish you success. I'm really, this is sports. I don't wish anybody ill will unless you're a complete jerk. If you're a woman abuser or some kind of,
deviant,
then I'll wish you all the failure in your career.
I think Yaz is good for the clubhouse. I don't think he's
Yaz is a good guy. Yaz is well liked. He's nobody wants to see him on the team really struggle but
it's tough for me watching him. It's tough for me to see him struggle.
As a fan,
exactly.
It's difficult.
You want him to succeed, but you also know that there are other options, and there could be better options out there.
I agree, Los. back the team, not a player. Yaz can flop and take that $8 million and play with Pablo. That gets Matos in right field, whatever. Yeah, exactly. We're not against the player, but as a person. But you know what? You better produce. And you know who better really produce for 19 million? Larry's right. Is Jung-Hoo Lee better produce? You can't be hitting in the low 200s. And I know it's early and batting averages fluctuate like crazy, but you got to start putting together. You can't be grounding out 2 or 3 times out of 4 every bat, just hitting ground balls.
And if you are doing that, you have to help your team in another way. You have to be a great defender. You have to lay down a bunt. You have to steal some bases. Because if you're not doing that, you're not helping.
Isn't that what got Ramos constantly sent down? Because when he'd come up, he would just roll the ball over to.
Yep.
Yeah, his ground ball rate was super high.
Yeah, and they just then they said, hey, you got to start hitting. They told Ramos, you got to start hitting the ball with authority and putting it in the air and putting some velocity on it. And what did he do? He worked on it, and he hit some of the hardest balls hit for the Giants up on the big league club last year, and nothing to show for him. So they don't treat everybody the same for some reason. They give guys a lot longer leash, and Lee's going to get a long leash. Don't get me wrong. He's 10 games into a whole new culture and everything, and it's going to.
I think you have to.
It may take him half the year or the whole year. He may pull he may pull a Hassan Kim act his first year, but he does have the ability. He has the ability to hit 300 in this league. It looks to me.
Oh, for sure. And they're paying him 18, 19 million, so he's going to get his leash. But the leash for Lee is the leash we want to see for Matos and Luciano and all the other young kids. Because who would have thought the longer you stay in the league, the longer you get more at bats, you get better. I mean, it doesn't just happen overnight. You have to develop in this league. Lee obviously isn't a great hitter. He's not a star yet, but he has the potential to be there, and I think he'll have success in this league. It just might take a little longer than people would have thought. And the same thing can go for Matos and Luciano. They might not have success right away. The league might have a number on them, but the longer they play, the more reps they get, the more at bats they get, they're gonna get better. That it always happens. You're not gonna get worse. And I mean, those are 2 of your top prospects in the organization, Luciano and Matos. I don't understand why you don't want to give them playing time. Why are you just having them in AAA right away? That makes no sense to me. Luciano and Matos should be on this roster, and they should be playing.
I agree 100%. I agree.
Lee has Ichiro-like mechanics, so that gives me hope. That's what Jeffrey Bond says.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's lost at the plate. I mean, he's putting the bat on the ball. And
the issue is going to be the ground ball. We've been talking about that. That's going to be the issue.
That is my huge concern. And I'm telling you why, because if you're hitting the ball on the ground 60% of the time in the KBO, how are you going to perform in the big leagues with pitchers that have so much more arsenal? When I say arsenal, I mean physical talent, plus they have the technical information to look at and study and see tendencies, weaknesses, and they'll exploit that, which could push that ground ball rate up to 65%.
Yeah, the MLB has way more analytics than the KBO has.
Exactly.
People have a bunch of scouting reports. People have scouts. They have the analytics department is looking at your at-bats. They're scouting every one of your at-bats. to see what your tendencies are and what you do well and what you do wrong. If they find something that you don't do well, they're going to exploit that, and they're just going to keep on pounding that until you can make a change.
Oh, we got Brando says, don't listen to these old heads. They wanted Casey Schmidt to start. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
I tell you what. Well, whatever. We'll see.
Is there a problem with wanting Casey Schmidt to start
don't ask
last
me.
year? When Matt Chapman signs, that's fine. Matt Chapman's your starting third baseman. But watch the end of last year. Watch Casey Schmidt's at bats. They were a lot better.
They got better.
They got better. He developed a little bit. I don't see why it's such a problem to want Casey Schmidt to start, to want a young kid with some upside a chance to play. I don't understand that. And he's struggling this year. That's fine. Let him develop in the minors. But last year, when they didn't have Chapman and they had J.D. Davis at the end of the year, who was really struggling, who couldn't hit a lick, they brought up Casey Schmidt, and he was performing decently towards the end of the year. The last game of the year, he had 2 home runs.
You going to let him call you an old head, Bora?
Bora, you're an old head.
Yeah, man. 19 years old.
19, man. Yeah, he's our Jackson Holiday right here. He's our Jackson Holiday, 19-year-old. We brought him up. We just brought him up from AAA. And if we're Farhan, he probably won't be here tomorrow. But, I want to see the Giants play young guys. I just do, because and I think you can mix it. I think you can mix the young guys in with the veterans and get you to the playoffs, possibly. I don't think they make the playoffs with this lineup.
I don't think so. They were getting shut. They got shut out yesterday, and they were getting shut out through what, like 5?
Through 5, yeah. They went 14 straight innings without scoring.
And the game, it was going by quick. They weren't getting
that game was flying.
Their at bats weren't great. The knuckleball pitcher was dealing.
I don't know why they took him out.
I think his pitch limit was a little high, or his pitch count.
But the knuckleball guy should be able to throw 300 pitches.
Yeah.
No, seriously. True, yeah. A knuckleballer should be able to throw 125 pitches easily. Easily.
He wasn't just a knuckleballer, though. He had an arsenal. He was throwing fastball, sliders.
He throws his knuckleball 29%.
And this is the number 5 guy in the rotation, and you're telling me the Giants couldn't score more than?
Well, yesterday Michael King shut them down. The first time the Giants faced Michael King, they got blown out, right? But they had some success against King because he walked like 6 guys. Yesterday, I don't think he walked anybody, and he was dominant. Yeah. This is a problem we've seen for 2 years now. They get overmatched by good pitchers. That's what happens. It happened with Glasnow earlier this year.
And you know what? And here's another thing about the Padres. They're playing their young guy. That Jackson Merrill, he's 20 years old.
What did he do today, Eric?
He went 4 for 4 with a stolen base. And you know what's funny? They got him playing in center field, and they drafted him as a shortstop.
Exactly.
Because they found a place to play him.
And the Padres are playoff contenders. They're all in.
Well, their rotation does need to be. They got to fortify it a little bit more.
They do, but they're all in. They traded.
Yes,
for
they
Cease. Are. They are going all in, and they're still playing their young kids. That's what it tells you. They're not just playing veterans.
Their lineup is
also
decent.
Developing. Yeah, their lineup's pretty good. And what's their rotation like? They have Darvish, Musgrove,
Cease, King, and then that Waldron guy.
That's not a bad rotation. It's just, Cease. I don't like Cease personally, but he's a decent pitcher. I think he's a good 3. Darvish is getting a little old. Musgrove is decent. I like Michael King. He hasn't had that many innings the past couple of years though, so that might be an issue.
Right, because he's a converted reliever into a starter.
Exactly, yeah. So we might see where that goes. But I mean, the Padres team is pretty good. It's a decent team, and I think the Giants, looking at it from a little wider perspective, the National League West is a really good division.
It is.
The Dodgers are the number one. I think that's. I think the
Arizona's number two right now.
I think the D-backs are number two. They have a great they have a pretty good rotation, and they have Eduardo Rodriguez and Jordan Montgomery coming back soon. So that rotation is going to be solidified. The D-backs offense is really good.
Yeah.
Tel Marte, Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll.
I take one real quick. We're kind of talking about pitching here. What's your guys' predictions on Snell tomorrow? What do you think he does?
Facing the Nationals.
I think he's going to tear up the Nationals.
I think he's going to have he's not going to have a horrible game, but I don't think he's going to have like a complete shutdown. I can see him going.
You don't think so?
6 innings.
I think he's going to take advantage of the Nationals just for the, maybe later in the year, maybe not so much, but I think right now
he should.
I'm thinking he's going to dominate the Nationals.
You think so? What? Give me a prediction for a stat line.
Oh, let's see. I say he goes. I think he makes it to 5. I think he's gonna have a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, because the Nationals lineup isn't good at all.
Oof. Let's see.
Tomorrow depends if CJ Abrams is back in there and Kelbert Ruiz, the catcher. I'm
going to say 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, something like that. Goes 5 innings.
Okay,
it could be 4. It could be 4, and it could be 7 walks and 3 strikeouts. I mean,
okay, so CJ Abrams has a jammed finger. He was a late scratch, I think, today, so he should have a chance to play tomorrow. But he's a lefty, and Snell's a lefty, so that matchup goes to Snell. How many do you think Snell's going to be on a pitch count, or is he going to?
Oh, I think so.
What do you think his pitch count's going to be?
Probably
no more than 90. You think
85 to 90 max.
5 innings sounds right because he pitches. He's not very efficient.
The Sacramento A's are 2-1 since they announced their move. I don't think it's 80. I'm gonna say 90. He went 74 2 weeks ago. How many did he go in this last simulated game in LA?
74. Something.
He went 74 again.
Something like that. 71.
Well, maybe
they'll probably limit him to 85. They're not going to push him to 90. I think 80. I think 85. I don't think he gets into the 6 tomorrow.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna go into the 6th at all.
I think he goes 5 innings. Would not shock me to see the Nationals take it to him.
You think so? I can't see that happen.
Nationals, I don't know. They come to play when they come here for some reason.
Yeah, but their lineup isn't good. They have Lane Thomas and CJ Abrams, but aside from that, their lineup isn't great. I mean, they have James Wood is not right.
Hey, let me see something here. The guy that threw the no-hitter, he's in the 4th inning now with a no-hitter.
Are you kidding me? Wow. How about that?
Against the Rangers, too. Oh.
Jeez.
Against the Rangers. Wow.
I mean, he's through 3.
They're not going to let him go to distance again. They probably yank him. Even if it's another no-hitter, do you think they let him go? Because how many pitches did he throw that last time? Over what?
105.
105? Oh, that's all he went? I thought he went more than that.
I think it was 105. Maybe somebody in the chat knows.
Wow. Maybe they'll let him go. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. My team is free if you go with secure money. If you buy an annuity, you not only get a free baseball club, but you get $1,000 bonus with it. So give me a call. You get $1,000 and a free baseball club, plus you get to make about 8% on your money. There we go.
What Dan and Eric, I want to talk about the bullpen a little bit, because earlier it didn't look great, but right now with Ryan Walker, Landon Roop looks pretty good.
Landon Roop is solid.
I think
Walker's
he's going to
okay.
be solid.
Doval looked better today.
Doval looks really good today. He had it today.
He did. He looked good.
Avila had a decent outing yesterday, right?
Avila had a decent outing.
Hey, even a clock's broken is right twice a day. Even a broken clock's right twice a day. Come on.
Yeah.
Guys are going to – guys
that
can come up in
is
AAA. And, you don't want – who's on this – who's their bullpen guys that are in there? Avila and who else?
You got the Rogers, you got Doval, you got Taylor, or you got not Taylor.
Walker.
Yeah, the Rogers, Doval. Who am I thinking? Walker, Avila, Roop, and then who else?
Good.
Who else is there?
I'm just shocked, and I'm just shocked that Dalton Jeffries is down, that they basically gave up Bart for one crappy 2 innings pitched. The guy that gave up 9 runs in 2 innings, and they gave up Bart just to get rid of him, just to get a pitcher on the roster. I mean, and I know Bart's gone, and okay, it's over with, big deal. But decisions like that, it's just mind-boggling. It just tells me you had no value. You did the same thing with DeBon, bringing in Michael Papirski, because DeBon was out of options. So you just dump these guys off for nobodies, and they turn around and turn out to be good players. You watch. Bart will be productive in Pittsburgh. He's not going to be an all-star. He's not going to be, he's not going to be an earth shaker, but he's going to be a
good backup catcher.
Yeah. And if he gets playing time, he'll hit 10 plus homers as a backup. And if he ever gets a starting job, again, where he catches 125 games a year, Bart will hit you 20 home runs one year. He is still developing, because he hasn't had but 1 year. He had 162 games played with the Giants. And think about this, guys. In 2020, he was not ready to play. Buster Posey opted out. They threw Bart in because they had nobody else to be their catcher. He wasn't ready. 21, Posey comes back, has a monster year, and then announces his retirement. So Bart's thrust into giving the job for 22. He's still not ready. And he struggles. They send him back down. He comes back up. He looks a little better for a while. Has solid month, ripping the ball. Then he goes back to struggling. 23, he starts off the season not doing that great. Bailey comes in, and everybody thinks Patrick Bailey's Johnny Bench.
Bart got injured. That's the reason.
That's right. Okay, that's right. Bart got injured.
Yep.
And then Bailey comes up, and they think he's Johnny Bench. And so then they just dump Bart, because my point is you could have got more for Bart if you would have given him a shot. Maybe you wouldn't have. Maybe he would have been a flop. But they don't give players a shot. Farhan does not. He gives players he signs a shot, but he doesn't give the old regime players a shot.
It's so obvious that that Bart was never liked within the organization. He was, the first draft after Bart was drafted was Patrick Bailey, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean,
he
I don't think
and,
ever.
look, Hunter Bishop is still floating around in AA. Now, he may turn out to be a really good player, hopefully. But the point is, if that was a guy that was drafted a year earlier than Farhan drafted him, he'd be gone. He'd be gone.
Farhan. Real quick, Tyler Wise Guy, $5. Thank you, sir. It says, when do you think we will see Luciano and Matos? What do you think? You think May? You think May time, Dan? Depending on what happens, I guess, with.
I think you see, we're on, what is today? April 7th?
April 7th.
Man, the season start. They played 10 games. This used to be opening weekend years ago, because every time there was the March Madness, the championship game, which is tomorrow night, it was always like the third game of the season, fourth game. It was just, they started a week earlier. So I'm going to look at this schedule, and I'm going to say if Yaz does not do anything by, well, let me look again. Let me pull up the schedule here. All right, schedule. There we go. All right. After Washington, they go to Tampa, then Miami, come home for a big homestand. I think if he doesn't get anything going by the weekend of May 3rd in Philadelphia, they play Boston. I think they give him a shot up to Boston. And if he doesn't get it done. I mean, you don't want to cut him with a chance when he goes to go to Boston, right? So I think around the first week of May, they say we've seen enough. If he's not pulling it. So, yeah, Low Steve says May 5th for Matos. Yeah, that's about what I would say.
So, yeah, they got the month of April to do something.
Yeah, and I think they let him go to Boston, and if they take him on the road trip, and maybe they give him through Colorado, see if he can get something going in Colorado, which is 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, but getting something started in Colorado is
I
don't know. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times it's just getting a hot bat, right?
Yeah.
But what happened to Bora? Did he just
have no idea? He went off and then disappeared.
He just called it a night. All right. He's
maybe some internet issues.
Computer froze.
There it is. There you go.
Computer froze. I just noticed when I was looking down because I was looking at the schedule here. Let me see what this guy. Hey, what was the guy that everybody in the chat will remember? Not everybody, somebody will, that threw back-to-back no-hitters. Was it Johnny Vandermeer?
Vandermeer, yes, it was.
Johnny Vandermeer. Do we have a shot at that tonight?
Uh-oh. You just did it. You jinxed it, Dan.
I jinxed it.
You jinxed it, Dan. Damn it. You should have done that. It's your guy.
I know, it's my guy.
Hold on. It's your guy for now. It's your guy for now.
Watch the next guy get a hit.
Oh, my gosh. See? Look at that. Damn it, Dan. See? Senior Dan jinxed it.
It's only the third inning. Come on. I mean, the odds of him back to back.
How many pitches is he at?
He is at 55, and he's got 2 outs in the 4th. 3 2/3.
He's being efficient. He's being efficient.
Yeah, you want to be at 60 or less.
Right, exactly.
I might have to go watch this game if this guy.
Can you show Dan's team?
I don't know how do you do that.
I can do it. You want me to do it?
Sure. Was Mark thinking of joining?
I don't know. Maybe.
Mark's going to buy an annuity?
Wait, hold on. Yesterday you said, Senior, I'm going to finish above you. The next day, You're out of the league.
Well, when I went to bed last night, tried to make some. I tried to make a few trades, and then I had this. I was tired, and I was like, "All right, I'm going to sleep in." And then I woke up, had to go to the bathroom, got back, and I looked at my phone, and I saw that, oh shoot, I got to make a lineup change. And then I started looking at the trade stuff, and then I was like, somebody said, "Stop trading." That's not how I operate.
All right, here's he's got his catchers is Mitch Garver, Elias Diaz, his first baseman, Christian Encarnacion Strand, second base, Luis Arias.
4 for 5 today.
Look at that. Coming out of a slump. Third base, Yandy Diaz. Shortstop, Dansby Swanson. His corner infielder, Brandon Drury. His middle infielder had no one in there.
Well, he didn't have a game today, and I picked up
Yeah.
Gavin Lux, and the
Gotcha.
game was already going on. So
His outfielders are Corbin Carroll, Wyatt Langford, Starling Marte, Jared Kalenic. Utility, your bench, or not, basically your DH. Juan Soto. On his bench, he's got Jung Hoo Lee, Mitch Haniger, Gavin Lux, and James Woods as his prospect that he's gotten waiting to come up. Starting pitchers, Tariq Skubal, Framber Valdez, Merrill Kelly, Mason Miller.
Mason was a reliever.
Yeah. Ryan Helsley, which is the closer for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Brandon Pfaadt, Hunter Harvey, Ronel Blanco. Right there, 3-0, beating Texas right now, bottom of the fourth. Alex Lang. And then he's got, unfortunately, might as well just drop him. Wow, I guess
I can't. I tried.
Oh,
to
they
drop
don't allow
him.
you to?
No, not yet.
Senior, you might have to do that. Then you got Kyle Bradish, Max Scherzer, and Orion Kirkering. There you go. There's Dan's team.
Yeah. And let's see. Must be fouling balls off because it's 61 pitches and he's still hold on here.
Will B, I ain't trading nothing. Will B is playing the long game. I kind of like what he's doing. He's got we'll
Hey,
see.
I was going to give you Will B. I was going to see if you wanted Strider to add to your walking wounded list because I can't get rid of him. So
Dan, you should trade for all Giants and just have a Giants team and see.
I
how
tried.
That goes.
There's some guy that I gave him Mike in the chat. I offered him last night. I offered him Tariq Skubal, Framber Valdez, Ryan Helsley. Let me look at my team here. Juan Soto, Corbin Carroll, Dansby Swanson. Who else was on my team that I offered? Luis Arias and Yandy Diaz for 6 Giants. Keaton Wynn, Jorge Soler, Flores, Estrada, Duvall, and who was the 6th guy? Whoever it was, he turned it down.
Seriously?
Yeah, he turned it down. I was giving him 2 top 12 picks in Soto and Carroll and Skubal and Framber Valdez and Ryan Helsley. I mean, he was going to be loaded and he didn't do it. He kept the Giants.
I think Senior would have put the kibosh on that one. I think so. There it is.
Just said I would have vetoed it.
Insubordination. Yeah. Remember that word? Insubordination?
Dan, you should just release all your players and just see what happens.
I might just release them. I need a buyer by tonight or it's going to be open frenzy. I need a buyer tonight.
I don't think Vince is going to come on. Not now. It's a WrestleMania weekend, so we'll get him on for sure. Senior says nope.
What time's the game tomorrow?
Probably 7, right? Or 6:45, something like that.
Okay, so I want to see the new light show. That's something I want to
Well,
see.
hopefully they do something that we
Right?
can have the light show.
Yeah. I think
Come on.
that's got to be one of the reasons why people are going to the games, to see the new
I'm
light
sure.
show.
Well, and Blake Snell's going to bring people.
Blake
to the
Snell,
park.
of course.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a sellout? I don't think so.
I don't think it'll be a sellout.
All right, somebody said I'm going to start releasing players in 5 minutes. It's like a hostage, right?
What is that? Like his dad. He's
I'm going to start releasing
hostage.
players. I'm releasing players in 5 minutes.
Man.
Who goes first? I need a buyer. You could take over a pretty solid team that should compete. I mean, I've got two reigning batting champions. I got Juan Soto. I got Corbin Carroll. I got pitchers, Scooble, Valdez, Kelly, and then let's see. We've got top of the fifth. We've got, hold on.
Matthew wants to know, Dan, why are you quitting?
I got Renell No Blanco.
No Blanco.
I got Renell No Blanco, who might be the next Mark Fidrich.
Oh. Eric Miller. Yeah,
Matthew
I
says,
forgot about Eric Miller. That was the other guy.
Are those the only guys though? Do they really have 3 rookies?
I think so.
In their
not
bullpen?
quitting silent. No, I just don't. I just need to step away because I'm spending too much time at it. I got more things I want to focus in on that are worth more time to me right now than this. So it's fun, but it's time consuming for me. So someone that doesn't mind putting in the time, or someone who doesn't have a personality like mine that can just put it on autopilot, I can't do it. I can't just be in the league and I can't do it half-ass. How's that? I'm either all in or I'm out.
Fair enough.
You know who's on the active roster? Kaiwei Tang is on the
That's right. I forgot.
roster.
He is in the bullpen.
Oh,
isn't he?
yeah.
They never did send him down after his start, did they? Or no, he came in relief. He came in relief.
Appearance.
Is he worth a roster spot really though?
He's kind of your long man right now. And they may need him tomorrow, depending on how long Blake goes.
That's true. I'd assume once Cobb comes back, they'd send him down and then move Wynn to long relief. Although I want to see Wynn get some run as a starter. I like his stuff.
You know, this thing with fantasy baseball, getting back to it's amazing how fast the standings change.
There you go. You got a co-manager, Nick.
I don't want anything to do with it. I don't even want to manage it all. I just want to walk away and I'll watch games when I want to watch. I don't want to be having to watch games because I'm constantly studying who's doing what. Okay, Matthew. There we go. Matthew, you got it. He's willing to take over the team and not take any reward if I win or place. Now, if you win it, you can have the reward. I just,
I should. That's a good point. Maybe I should buy in and have 2 teams in there. No, I wouldn't do that.
And trade with one another.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be pretty hokey. Pretty hokey.
I don't care if Russo, he ain't gonna give me a hard time. If he does, it'd be just in fun, because anybody who's our age knows you value your tranquility. I'm at a stage of life where, heck, I'm in an hour and 45 minutes into this thing today, man. This is a lot of, you do this show every day, and then you won't expect me to get off the show and just study baseball all freaking.
Dan wants tranquility, but we're doing Giants post games.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You don't call me no quitter, Spencer. Unless you're putting a little emoji, a laughing emoji behind that, because if you're having fun, that's fine. But if you knew my life, you wouldn't be saying that. So,
has anyone emailed you?
You know what? That's a good point. I should look.
Spencer says he's giving you crap.
Okay, that's cool. Just see to do. No email yet.
All right. Senior says you don't have to study all the time, Dan. Let the team breathe for a while. But that's not who Dan is.
You don't know who I am then. I can't. It's just I'm competitive and I want to. I'm It's yeah. And that's why I didn't want to get into the league, because I knew myself, I kind of got into it. Just, I could see where it's fun and it's kind of fun to do and look and stuff. But, I'm sitting there looking at everybody each at bat. Come on. This is like no way to live for me. I just I'm like, what am I today? I am. I started off 7 for 12, and then all of a sudden I was 7 for 20. That
happens.
And I ended up. Oh, I was 12 for 36. Now I'm 12 for 39. Do I have somebody playing tonight? Let's see. Oh yeah, Langford. Langford. 0 for 2.
Here, I'm gonna jet out of here pretty quick, but
yeah,
I just created a lineup with the active roster right now. Tell me what you guys think.
All right.
Lee, Flores, Soler, Conforto, Chapman, Wade, Estrada, Bailey, and Ahmed. Wade would play right field and Flores would play first base.
Okay, could you do that again? Lee, Flores,
Soler, Soler, Conforto,
4,
Chapman,
5,
Wade, Estrada, 6. Bailey, and Ahmed.
So Wade is behind Chapman.
Yeah,
6, and then
he's getting Yaz out of there.
Who was after Wade?
Estrada. You could put Bailey in there, and they just don't have the guys.
I mean, think of what they got right now, though, guys. At the back end of their order, when you get down to pretty much Chapman at 5. Was he in the 5 or 4 spot today?
He's 5.
Chapman 5.
Okay, who was 6? Yaz?
Yaz was 7.
Or no, Estrada was 6.
Okay, so when you get to Chapman at 5, to Estrada, to Yaz, to
those
Bailey,
are your biggest
Ahmed.
Those are all your strikeout guys.
It's like, oh my goodness! I mean, that's the time.
It's not even worth watching.
That's the time where you gotta go. You know what? I gotta mow the lawn.
I gotta wash the dishes.
It's like, look who's coming up, man! I'm not gonna miss anything.
Hey Dan, your team's batting 308, right?
What, today?
Yeah. Isn't 12 for 39, 308?
Yeah.
That's what Spencer's saying. That's good.
Yeah. For today, yeah. It's like still good. Yeah. Man.
Now, the other day when it was like 150, that's a different story.
I mean, I've had a lot of days of 150s. My team batting average was 198.
Yeah, but you know what? Some of your guys
it's so early. I mean, Arias went 4 for 5 day. He was like hitting under 100 himself.
Right.
He was, Diaz, he's going to hit. Soto will hit. Carroll will hit. I think Gavin Lux can hit once he gets in there.
Ooh, Dan, you know who's on in 5 minutes?
Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna.
I think Kaminga is back.
Nice.
Senior's throwing out financial stuff. It's like a mutual fund, Dan.
I see. Yeah. Up and down. Yeah. Yeah. But not with secure money. With secure money, unlike a mutual fund, you will never, ever lose a penny with secure money. Your account values can only go up, never go down. That's a promise. That's in writing. That's contractual. You can never, ever lose money when you put your money with secure money. It will only either go up, or in a down market, you will get a zero. So you put 100,000 in, and all of a sudden you make 15%, and you're at 115,000. And the next year the market pulls a 2008 and loses 40, 50%. You know what? You get a zero, while the mutual fund goes from 115 all the way down to like 60, 65,000 and needs to start climbing from there, where you take a zero and then the next year you're at 115. If the market grows another 10%, you just went up to like 126. So give me a call if you want to have your money grow without risk. You never have to look at the markets and say, dang, that bad day. Wonder what my account value is now. You always know what your account value is. And so it's either level or it's going up. Imagine that if you never took a loss in a baseball game.
That'd be pretty huge.
Let's say you were the Giants and you're now 4-6 and you played like crap tomorrow and you got swept in against Washington and you're still 4-6. And then you go on the road and you win 6 straight. Now you're 10-6. And then you lose 5 more. You're still 10-6. But then you win 3 in a row. Now you're 13-6.
Look at that.
Could you imagine? That's the way to invest, baby. Senior says, give it another week. No, I've made up my mind, Senior. I'm done. When I woke up today, couldn't go back to sleep, and I had a freaking headache, I said, this is enough. So I'm not enjoying life. So I'm done. Someone's taking over. Mark, what is your thought on fixed index annuities, Dan? That's what I'm talking about, Mark. I do those. I love them. I have them. And there's some good ones and there's some bad ones. I'm going to steer people away from the bad ones because I wouldn't put my mother in them. I wouldn't. So that's how I do business. If it's not good enough for me personally, I don't put people in it. But the right index annuity can make you some pretty darn good money. Average you about 7, maybe 8% growth in the market times we're in right now, but you never go backwards. So good question. So yeah, it is.
I think his computer froze again. Did your computer freeze there, Bora, or you just?
No, I just had to get up and do something real quick.
We're gonna end this. The Warrior game is. Before we do,
Senior says he has a request. If you are really quitting, please do not make any trades.
Okay, I have one pending, but I didn't accept it.
Cancel it.
It was sent to me. I guess I can not keep it. It was sent to me yesterday. It was a good trade too, for both clubs, but it was weighing it. Guys, we are in the wow. I don't think we're going to see history repeat itself because of the pitch count.
Oh, it's getting up there.
But yeah, he ain't gonna make it by the pitch count. But what he's doing is
special, huh?
Yeah, if he gets one more out, he's through 5.
Wow. Hey, there you go. You got a customer there, Dan.
Investing in a firm and sucker. I need help investing in a firmware engineer and suck saving money. Okay, yeah. Give me email me at Dan@SecureMoney. Dan@SecureMoney.com.
He's
There you
through
go.
5.
He's through 5 now.
Through 5.
Oh my goodness. He's on the fantasy club. I got him. He may be better than Spencer Strider. He hasn't given up a hit.
Exactly. There you go. He hasn't given up a hit yet.
Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, he's at 81 pitches, so he's only probably got 25. He's only got 2 innings in him. He ain't going to make it.
Still damn good, though.
What is this? 14 consecutive no-hit innings then?
Yeah.
Something like that. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Didn't Petit do that a while back? Didn't he have like 40 something?
He had a bunch of consecutive scoreless innings, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was scoreless, not hitless.
It was scoreless, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if the commissioner is going to seize my team and my assets.
Yeah, I think we'll see.
Freeze
we'll see what happens.
Freeze my team. Or I'll turn it over to the league and let him find it. But reach out to how can they reach? You can reach
NorCal Sports Network at gmail.com.
There you go. I haven't received an email yet. Send me an email. I'll send it on over to the commissioner. And you can have a ball club and be in a fantasy baseball. You only got 152 games. I've already shaved off 10 for you. So there we go. We got one. Matthew.
Senior, I can't. I have school. It'll be too much.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No worries, Matthew. Don't worry about the the fee. It's cool. Yeah. Dodger Dan Mizuhara. I'm being kicked. I'm being handcuffed. No. So yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Passan's tweeting out about it right now.
About what, the no-no?
Yeah, doing something, basically the same thing. Doing something very interesting, and you can watch it on ESPN.
That's pretty darn cool. You know.
Oh, that's right. This is the ESPN game tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sunday night.
It'd be great if he could just like get through the next inning in 5 pitches.
I know. What if he?
And get through like the next 2 innings in 12 pitches. Go through 7 at 92. It'd be like, okay, 93 pitches. I just don't think he's going to have enough in him to. I think he runs out of pitches, which is crazy because it's so early in the season you can't push a guy. So, but anyway, guys, we'll be back tomorrow night. Blake Snell has his
fun.
Debut as a San Francisco Giant. Should be fun with the lights. Should have a light show tomorrow. Maybe Duvall comes in with some
theatrics
music. I mean, there's nothing like watching Edwin Diaz come out of the bullpen with the trumpets.
The trumpets and the drums. That sounds pretty damn
somebody's
awesome.
got to come up with something like that for Duvall.
That is fantastic.
They got to come up with something that's exciting. Hopefully, I mean that would be fun.
Yeah, that's what you need at the ballpark. You need some fun.
You know, that pulls even me back in. You know, when I see some fun and excitement. I don't like this boredom stuff. You know, I'm not supporting boring baseball at all. So
no, exactly, yeah.
All right, guys. Tomorrow night, we got what time's the game? 6:40? Is it? Do they still start early now? 6:45? Let me look.
I have no idea. Schedule
tomorrow night, 6:45. Yeah, 6:45. So figure about a 9:15, 9:30, probably 7:45. About 9:30, probably. Yeah, I don't think Snell probably puts a few guys on base. So that takes a little extra time. So about 9:30 tomorrow night, we'll be back on. I don't know if Bora will be back or not. He's welcome, but he's back and Los. One of these days, I'm going to be going on an assignment like John Miller, take a day or two off, and take a little reprieve. But thanks for joining. Giants win it again today, 3-2. Camilo Doval strikes out the side in the top of the ninth for his first save of the season. And the Giants get through pretty much a 10-game juggernaut, 7 with the Padres and 3 with the Dodgers, and come out 4-6, which isn't too shabby as crappy as they're playing, right?
Not bad.
At the plate.
Their pitching looks good. Their defense looks good. It's just the hitting.
Yep. So if they can correct that, Giants could have a good year. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. We'll see you tomorrow night.